Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. I do what I do for you, and I got something nice for you today. Let's go. Let's rock. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you too. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life, and that's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. You're a right thinker. Your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they even know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my eye, you know the deal. Be true. Let's talk about the sacred numbers of creation and their important subsets. I'm gonna break them down for you. It's 10 in number, but they all have a significant purpose and a reason. Let's talk about it. All right, let's start with this. What it looks like. One side, the left side is the side of theurgy, Anulian theurgy, tree of life, and the right side is the tree of life of the Anulian theurgy. They both have different perspectives, same thing, but they broke down a little different. I'm gonna go over that with you right quick. So let's start in the beginning. The number. Let's start with number 7. I just did the 1 and 9, so this is the continuation. Let's start with number 7. That number has been prevalent in biblical concepts, religious concepts. Why? It's important. Why? Because number 7, from the sacred numbers of the Paute, we are also given the number 7. The number of who? The goddess, Aset. Wisdom, intuitive knowledge. That's her number. And the number 7 relates to the 7 aspects of creation where what? Where in human life has its manifestations. 7 chakras. The Indians call it chakras. We call it serpent power, and we also call it the ba of Ra, the 7 souls of Ra, because it was 7. We got another lesson coming, but this is 7. There's a lot of things going on with that number 7. If you're familiar with these, that was his game. 7 coming out, winner. End of the time, loser. So that number 7 can do some few things, but it's important also to what? Realize that Ra has 7 souls, 7 hathars. They call them cows, sacred cows. He sired all of them. There's another lesson. But the number 7 is also related to what? The 7 psycho spiritual energy centers. We call the chakras. We call them energy centers or serpent power. Okay, I'm gonna show you where I set, which is the basket that they have. They call the basket of I set at the bottom of the sacrum, where the Kundalini serpent lays dormant, and when you start to live right and do right, that activated. And it's her and her sister, and that's that. But they got the one right here, the basket wrapped. She's in the basket wrapped 3.5 times around. That's a sign of Apophis. He was so big, he could stretch around the world 3.5 times. Okay, conceptually. But we understand the 7 chakra centers which sustain the human life. The reason why the 7 chakras is important because they relate to your inner parts that work. And if they all are functioning and right, the body will work like a well-tuned machine. Okay, that's why the 7 chakras is important. And the 7 realms of existence, 7 heavens, the 7 hells, we heard about all that. is also symbolized by the seven head Hadu goddesses, okay, cows, and you got the seven notes in music. I don't know music, but this is something that I got to explain because I don't really know. The seven notes in music, don't have a clue, but y'all who play would know that. Then you got my favorite. Now I'm a little upset. Seven colors in the rainbow. People stole the rainbow and they flipped it around. Whenever you got something and it's good and you take it and flip it, that means it's bad. I'm just saying, moving on. The rainbow ain't been the same for me. I really don't see the rainbow the same no more. So those are things that come in the sevens, etc. But watch this. Now there are certainly more notes in music, okay, and energy centers also. There's 114 chakras throughout the body. The seven, the most main ones, okay, in the body, and the colors. There's seven more colors beyond the perceptible range that is also exponential, ex, extrapolations of the same seven, meaning the colors you can use same color to make a different color. So, however, here we go. The number seven denotes the perceptive range in which human existence has its mundane, typical of the world manifestation, and the other numbers are multiples of the variance. So you got the same, you got 6 times 7 is what? It gives you 42. 42 confessions of Maya. It was 42 gnomes in Egypt up and down the Nile River Valley also. So 42 was significant for them also. And the number of ancient Egyptian gnomes, well, we call them cities now, or primordial settlements, which gave rise to the ancient Egypt. 42 is also related to Jackie Robinson, the number of main precepts of Maya philosophy, the 42 confessions of Maya philosophy. But yeah, baseball, Jackie Robinson, my dude, they have a day where everybody wear his number 42. And my last one to wear it was my dude for the Yankees, okay, the pitcher. But number 42 is significant. Now, the number 7 also relates to who? The goddess of wisdom, my girl, Aset. Y'all know it as Isis. Now, Aset, in that which her basket composed of a serpent that is coiled around 3.5 times, relating to what? The spiral journey of the serpent power through what? Your psycho spiritual journey up the Kundalini, going up the chakras, in and out, weaving up until you get to number 7, top of the dome, the temples right here. And what happens? That's what's called enlightenment. Now it relates to the spiral. Okay, it also hits the energy centers as it what? Enlightens human consciousness. When it gets up to here, the third eye open, you become conscious of who you really are. We are born ignorant. We're born with memory loss. We're born unconscious of who we are. As we go through life having the human experience, our goal is to know thyself before this physical life is over. Why? Because the spirit wants to go back to the maker. If not, the spirit got to go back to another body. It's been doing that for a long time, conceptually. So that's the idea with the number 7. Let's move over here now to what they call the basket of our set. I just explained it to you. But we're going to start now with the number, my favorite, number 6. Okay? 6 is the spiritual number for Asar. 6 means spirit. It means soul, eternal life. That's God's calling cards. How about that? Ain't the mark of the beast. No, that's the gift of God. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. That's what makes man in the flesh. So let's start with the 6. Number 6 was regarded by Pythagoras. Everybody know about Pythagorean theorem, but guess what? He was initiated in the Kemetic mystery system as what? As the number of full manifestation, number 6. 6 means mastery, okay? Self-mastery. When you graduate from college, you got a little degree, B.A.B., whatever it is, you got the 4-corner hat. At the mastery level, you get 6. That's mastery. Okay, that's some stop right there. But you also got six is the number six, the limited number. Why? This idea is seen in music as the number six being the limited factor of harmonies. Don't know music? Again, they just said seven. Well, now they're saying six. So I don't do the music thing, but I'm just putting it down as they give it to me. Six being a limited factor of harmonies, and there are only six harmonies in music. Didn't know that. Thus, Asar, who symbolized what? The soul, is fullness of what? Manifestation of what? The Spirit of God. And time and space. God comes down to fall of man. Spiritual being come down into human being. That's the fall into physical form. And in the form of what? Individual sparks of life. Every human being has the spark or spirit of life that gives rise to what? All human beings. Without the spirit, you got nothing. Put another way, each human being is like a wave in the ocean, or even a speck of water out the ocean. Why? Because the supreme is considered the ocean, and each soul is the limit of manifestation in the flesh, just as the ocean is an individual raindrop or wave, but is consistent with the whole thing. Understand that we are gods in the flesh. Once we become conscious of that, and my job to get you to know that by living, doing, and being and manifesting for yourself, so then you will know you. That's the idea. Know thyself. Okay? The numbers game. Let's go back to number 5. When you hit 5, it's going to signify the 5 senses. Okay? Seeing, smelling, seeing, hearing, touching, and tasting. That's what the body functions on. But the 5 in this metaphysics of the Anuian theory, tree of life, the number 5 is significant. Why? Because it incorporates and aggregates groups of the netter. You got the 5 elements, you got the 5 human part about netter. I told you about that. We're gonna break that down. Oh, I didn't go through my list. Okay, so we're gonna do the netter into groups of dynamic fellowships. What they mean? You have a grouping of subtle elements: sun, air, moisture, rain from the top, earth, and heaven. Those are the 5 elements: earth, wind, and fire. Now, that's the 5 top part. Now you got the 5 bottom parts. The top part is Ra, sun, Shu, air, Tefnu, moist air, Gab, earth, and Nu, heaven. The grouping of the gross elements, meaning the lower creation, are the 5, starting with Asar. Number 6, Aset. Number 7, Set. Number 8, Netet. Number 9, the mortality lady, she's the nature, she represents birth and death. She's number 9. And number 10, Haru that's us, Haru in the flesh, mastering ourselves. Is greatness. Okay, so our goal as right thinker is to become Haru. We're already Haru. That means we're in the process. We're growing to be our best selves. When you reach that level, self mastery, you become Haru. Let's go. Let's talk about number 4. Number 4, I forgot you had the five senses. That's always there. But number 4, the 4 cardinal virtue, north, east, south, and west. That's always going to be in the place. Let's see what they say about number 4. The number 4 is the number of creation. Geb is God of the earth. Thus, prayers are offered in fourfold manner to the 4 cardinal points of the compass. You face north, you face south, you face east, and you face west. Prayer in every position. Okay. Now, this practice thereby what? Fills creation with what? The utterance and their vibrations. The number 4 is also significant in that it represents in the 4 corners of the obelisk of the Anuian theurgy, symbolizing what? The 4 cardinal points, and thus also physicality. Third dimension, the 4, that box, that square, that represent physicality. All right. Now, the square of the box, that's the 4. Let's break the 4 out. If you know about the Masonic apron, we got the square bottom, but on top there's a triangle. Okay, that's number 3. The number 3 is the number of cosmic trinity. We got a few trinities. Let's start with God. Amun, hidden. The 3 phases of God is the hidden one. Ra is the seen. Ptah is the manifest in the flesh. Self-created ones who said, uttered himself into existence. That's the 3 stages, the 3 trinity of Ra. Got some more for you. Watch this. And of the creation, the trinity, you got the day sun, Ra going across the sky. He's represented by Kepri. I told you Kepri, the scary haired man in the beginning. When sunrise, that race that donates creation symbolically. Creation come out of nowhere. They just spring to life. So that's what the scarabs represent. At high noon, he's Ra in his full glory. Why? Everything stops, shuts down. Everybody take lunch break at 12 o'clock. That's ancient time because everybody worship the sun. And at 12 o'clock, where's Haru? Up there. The sun over top of us at noon. Everybody pays homage to the sun. Okay? Now, what number 3? That was that Ra. And at the even, when you're going down, that little red ball, that's Tim. Okay? That's the finishing of the day, closing out the end. He represents the closing of the day. But the Trinity also relates to what? The modes of consciousness. You got the seer, Amen, the seeing, Ra, and now you got sight, which is Ptah. Or you have subject, again, Amun, object, again, Ra, and the interaction medium, which, okay, represents the 2 things coming together, like you see the caduceus, there's 2 serpents going up in the center, okay, again, Trinity. And you got the modes of matter, which is harmonious, agitated, and sedimentary. Those are 3 stages that you can be in. Working together is harmonious. Agitated is one, sediment is by itself. Put the 3 together, you have it. These principles govern what? The manifestation of consciousness as it differentiates in the various forms referred to as matter. Further, the number 3 also relates to this is the real Trinity. And please understand this, my Christian friends. Father, mother, and son, aka child. Usually it's a male child. They have a few where it's a female, but it means father, mother, and son, not the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Asar, male, Aset, female. They get together, they create Haru. That's the spirit in me and you. We become Haru. I keep telling you that. That's the spirit. As we go get better, we master ourselves, we become Haru Earth. We're children right now in knowledge of self. And it also represents past, present, and future. And in time and space, you are dealt with, you have the length, this way, horizontal, height, up and down, and width, how wide. Those are 3 things that you measure by, okay? Thus, watch this, in Kemetic religious practices, prayers are also offered thrice. That means 3 times, okay? Thrice daily, morning, midday, and evening. And every time you pray to the 4 cardinal directions, okay? North, east, south, and west. So, in musical philosophy, the number 3 is the number of manifestation. No more than 3 notes can be combined to make consonants. Don't have a clue what that means, but you people in music, I'm sure you do. Good understanding. I hope you got the information. But now, what that? This means that even though there may be a duality present, self and other, okay, all you have is unison of what? 2, which is essentially equal to the what? Original 1. Everything's on the 1. So therefore, what this? There still cannot be manifestation. Why? Unless there's a 3rd principle is present. In other words, the interaction medium. You got 2 things, you got to have something else, a 3rd part. That's the interaction medium that makes it all happen. That's going back to what? the one, which is essentially equal to one. And there still cannot be manifestation to that the principle is present. In other words, the interacting medium, the capacity of awareness to see, separate between the two aspects of what? Duality, good, evil, light, dark, up, down, in, out. That's duality. You can't have one without the other. That's my yacht. That's what you see me doing this. I'm giving her props. Same way we give Amen his props. Okay, so I'm a female deity worshiper. Simple. Moving on. Now, in relation to the tree of life, we have certain prominent trinities incorporated into it naturally. Again, starting with Capri, the morning sunrise, Ra, high noon, Tim, sunrise. Then we have the trinity of nature. You got Ra, sun, Shu, air, Tefnut, moist air. Then we got the trinity between Ra, Hotep, remember her, motion, and one motion and still rest and motion, excuse me. And I use Seti. And again you got Asar, Aset, and Neptet. The Trinity. Why? Asar and Neptet created Anubis, spirit, and mortality. Offspring is Nubis, discernment. Asar and Aset, wisdom, and spirit brings Haru, which is what? Resurrection of the spirit. We are the spirit made flesh. Sorry about that. But let's wrap it up. Number 2, duality, my favorite. From the number 3, we are further reduced to what? The number 2, and symbolize duality, which symbolizes duality. In Kemetic philosophy, this number is referred to as what? The two things that come into being in this land. The number 1 relates to what? Non-duality. God is one, singular, by himself. In Kemetic philosophy, this number is related to what? The first time, or as we say, the beginning of creation. And it referred to what? As the era before two things had come into existence. When Ra came out of the noon, there's only one thing. He came and made what? Duality, by creating order out of chaos. So, in the beginning of the land, duality is what? Duality relates to what? The opposites of creation, up, down. I just gave the concept. In, out, here, there, and the most known one, male and female, or yin and yang. That's the perfect concept of understanding duality. But his spirit and matter comes into physical form. That's us, human beings. So a person, wait a minute. So duality is what? Is the apparent existence of two or more items that can be perceived. So a person who perceives their existence as an item, an object in creation, among other objects, people, elements, trees, water, stars, etc., said to be in a state of duality as opposed to what? Non-duality. The perception of one essence manifesting through the appearance of multiplicity of duality. I was one, I became 3, then I became many, multiplicity. And he never added a thing in a many. How many of us perish? He don't lose a thing. That's God. That's the all. That's what we're talking about at this point. Now, guess what? That's the lesson, right? Thinkers, we closing out lesson number 5. All right. Now, in closing, right, thinkers, may y'all live to be 100 and be 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. Get ready for lesson number 6. I'll be back. My number